Hello everyone, welcome back to Sunless Sea. I am VanguardOfValor, and today we're going to be setting sail once again. Surprise, surprise. So we got a couple little things I want to do here before we go anywhere else. First of all, we want to go back to Mount Palmerston, because I want to try and see if we can do that independent observation thing. I have a feeling that's important, and I think that skipping it was a problem. So I want to go back here and take a look and see if we can get that to happen, but we'll have to wait until we can come back with something awaiting us. In the meantime, I think we're going to head all the way down to the Chelinet, where hopefully we'll be able to get some more knowledge for our bandaged poissonnier, because we have the 3 hunting trophies to cash in now, and then we'll make our way all the way back up here. It's going to be a long journey, no doubt, but hopefully we'll be able to make some port reports and things on the way that'll make it a little bit worth our while, and hopefully we'll be able to replenish some of our supplies so we don't run out completely or have to buy them all on the way back. We'll see, though. For now, we're going to stop in at Godfall, not do much here, but we will let them give us a port report, and we'll move on. We don't really want to do anything else here. I still don't really want to help the adventuress seek a glorious death in a duel here. We just, want to explore a little bit further and see what else we can find. Should be good, though. We got a nice large space here to explore as well. I might drop in at Port Cecil, and on the way back we'll come up the right-hand side. I kind of want to take a look in here, though. We'll see. We will see. We also have plenty of health, so if we want to fight some things, we can. Hopefully we'll find some interesting things to fight. Hopefully we can find maybe a bound shark. I think there normally are bound sharks in the Principles of Coral here. So if we can find one of those, we'll definitely experiment with fighting it and see if we can manage it without dying too hard. Right now, though, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot here after all. Seems a very quiet place, all told. Our terror is increasing. We might want to have the lights on now. Well, we'll see what happens. I think there's also eels in the Principles of Coral normally. If we find one of those, we can probably handle it pretty easily. Looks like there's not much for us to fight right now, though. Alright, well, we'll stop in at Port Cecil, and we'll see what they have to say. So having the dock here, we can listen to our dreams or sleep deeply. Let's listen to our dreams and see what we learn. We walk through the streets of buildings trapped in amber, flooded with treacly light. Rubbery men, their face tentacles twitching complacently, swirl around us in crowds. They give us a wide berth. Something drips from our hands. Not blood, it's as pale as milk. A bell tolls. We turn in through an ornate arch, and all the lights go out. But not before we see the spined shape throned in a pool at the chamber's heart. Well, 20 fragments and 5 terror gain. Lovely. While we're here, we can gather ourselves some intelligence. There we go, in Port Cecil. We could also see if we have anything to do in the extra move, but I don't think we have anything to cash in. I think we need to get a, was it a fluke core and... I forget the other thing. Let's go take a quick look here. Nope, they don't want anything to talk to us. Alright, fair enough. I can just check later. But we don't have the things we need, which is the important part. We could buy supplies here, but they are fairly overpriced, and we don't need any just yet, so we're going to keep moving. We're actually going to head into that dark space there on the right and see if we can't explore a little bit of it so we know what we're looking at over here, because I'm not even sure if we've ever even come over this side, really, beyond just this part of the reef. So we'll see what we can find. There's Brock's Reef and the wreck of the Emperor Wolfgang. Alright. We'll head on and we'll see if there's anything interesting over in this area to the right. Hopefully, there's nothing too unfortunate for us here, but you'll never know until you take a look. Well, there's stuff here. Might not be anything interesting, but there's certainly islands here. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot, but we'll take a quick look around. There's Ewan's Way. Hello. A Bahama Stash. We know we can beat these. Let's fight the Bahama Stash. It knows we're here now, so we go into hard reverse. We don't really want to get hit by it if we can help it. We're going to try and just hammer it to death before it can get close enough to actually hurt us. It should stop right before it gets to us. Yeah, we're good. That is a dead Bahama Stash. Job done. Okay, let's see what we get here. Let's dig around in its innards and see if we can find anything fun. We have an unprepossessing mass. A tin can. We're about to toss it aside, but something makes us look at it more closely. Ha ha! Well, the sizable can once held a significant quantity of corned beef. Now something coiled and watchful layers in it. Extract it carefully. It may have a use. We finally have a live specimen. Well, that might come in handy. Took it long enough for us to get one, but we finally did. Anything on that island? No. Alright, well, that's good. That is informative, if nothing else. Okay, so you can actually get live specimens just from killing certain monsters. That's good to know. Now I'm going to have to decide what I want to use that one on, though. I have a feeling there's going to be a bunch of different things that need them, because we've needed one for a long time. Well then. Well then, indeed. Okay, let's sail onwards, see if we can't get a little bit of supplies back or something, because our food situation isn't going great right now. I have a feeling the Bahama Stash would hurt pretty bad if it managed to actually hit us. But between both of our weapons, we're able to keep it at bay. That and the fact that it decides to run away after its attack fails. Yeah, I get the feeling we're not going to see a whole lot here. There's not much point in us stopping in Savior's Rocks, because we don't have the wine needed to make a port report there. So I'm going to make my way across here quickly to Visage and stop in there on the way by. We'll make our way down to the Chelinet from there. If we do need to make a quick stop anywhere for resources, we can. If we head over here, we should be able to get a good amount of food. Then we can make our way back up towards Khan's Shadow or Khan's Heart to replenish our fuel and keep going onwards from there. I'm kind of alright with burning all our resources doing this, because we've got a lot of echoes to spare, so we don't have to be perfectly optimal every time now. As long as we're making an effort to do something interesting on each run, so that we make some kind of profit to help us break even, then it's hardly a problem, I think. We'll stop in at Visage and acquire our port report for that free fuel in the future. We're not going to actually land in Visage, though. We're just going to keep sailing. We could, and we probably should, because doing events there will likely get us resources that we can spend later, but for now we're just going to sail on and hope for the best. Drop by the Reef of Roses and see what's lurking in there. Right now it looks like not a whole lot, but that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot happening here. That's fine, though. Better that than us getting horribly murdered by nasty beasties. We'll make our way over to the Chelinet and see what we can find over there. Hopefully, we don't find the Eater of Names. Because, while we're pretty powerful, we're not quite strong enough to handle some of those particularly nasty opponents. Make our way here through Tussler's Channel. The real question will be what we get from doing this. I have no idea what the Bandage Poissonnier will want to do next. But I guess we'll find out. As we approach Schabel Port without any interruption at all, things are going fairly well so far. We are fairly low on supplies, though. We'll probably need to stop in somewhere to replenish them. Excuse me. Good thing I have water here. Okay, so we're having some serious nightmare problems right now. Let's listen to our dreams again and see how terrified we become. Oh, this is the same one as last time. In the Chelinet here, though, we can find someone to teach the secrets of butchery to the Bandaged Poissonnier. Let's do it. An improvement. When the Bandaged Poissonnier returns to the ship, he is red to his elbows. I have learned what I need to know, he says, his voice haggard. Back in the galley, he throws away all his knives but one. We watch it slice skin, bone, and butterfly, as precise as a surgeon's scalpel, as quick as a minnow. Flesh goes one way, skin and organs another. As the crew dine, he seeks us out. It goes well, my captain, but I have my initial ingredients. I have my skills. But the flavors I pursue must be coaxed forth, like a hermit crab from its shell. I'm afraid I need very particular seasoning, muter salt, and soup. They sell the former at Wither, where the salt pools form, fizz, and pop. Soup is made at Mount Palmerston. Its composition is a secret, but anything that can be combined can be separated again with the right equipment. Okay, well we have a soup already. I've been holding on to that from ages, and it's good to know we can get muter salt at Wither, so we can head there and pick some up later. So that's what he wants. If we talk to him, can I just give him the soup now? No, I have to give him muter salt and soup at the same time. Okay. Okay, so that's unfortunate. We'll have to go get some more muter salt. At least we know where to get it now. It's in Wither, apparently. I probably have seen it there before, I just forget, but... So it goes. Okay, Man, I don't know what I want to do with these things. Alright, I think we're going to sell the casket of sapphires here, because I don't have the space in my inventory if we're going to be doing a bunch of other things here. So let's sell these quickly. It sucks to have to sell them, but 100 echoes is a good price. Scrimshaw Chronicler, we still don't have the tail that you need. And that's fine. Still don't know what History's Beach is, but I guess we'll find out in the future. We have our live specimen now. Oh yeah, that's right, we still have a crate of human souls. I should sell those somewhere. Interesting. Okay, well, let's sail on, because we got what we needed. What we came here for. We'll compile our port report, and then we'll go. We are probably going to need to make a stop in somewhere, though, because our terror is getting very high, and we're a little bit low on supplies and fuel. So if we drop in on the college, we can pick up food, and we can head to Khan's Shadow and pick up fuel, and then we'll make our way up from there. That's unfortunate. We probably won't make our way to Aestival this time, but it should be worth it in the end here. Should be worth it in the end. The important thing is that we just don't die, because that is an ever-present threat right now. If we get stranded at sea, probably won't end very well for us, and we've come so far in this adventure now, I'd hate to die here. I suspect that if we ever do wind up dead, that's where this playthrough will end. We'll just follow the adventures of our 1Z captain. But I'd really like to finish our core adventure if we can, and recover our father's bones, despite the fact that it's a humongous series of wild goose chases where we have to chase after all sorts of ridiculous artifacts. But still, we're getting close to the point now where we can actually start completing some of the objectives, so I'd hate to fail now. Alright. We're getting very low on fuel, very low on food. We're going to stop in the Melting Isles and hopefully pick up some more, though. Alright, Mangrove College. There we go. So we'll dock in the Mangrove College. We could pick up a passenger if we want. Might be worth it. But the shady sort wants to go all the way back to Guider's Mourn, and that's not really what we want right now. We could eat, drink, and be merry. I think that would reduce our terror, which would be good, but we need to gather the supplies right now. So we'll compile our port report. And gets us 1 supply. And we're going to gather supplies, which, hopefully, won't be a problem. Only 2. That's not as good as I was hoping. Sometimes you can get as much as 6 from doing that, and that's not a great amount. Alright, maybe we're over farming here. It's possible that after you steal too many resources from the area, they just don't grow back as well. Which is an interesting proposition there, that we're actually stripping the natural resources out of these areas. We're pretty low on fuel and supplies, though, so we're going to have to go buy more. So we're going to head over to Khan's Heart, or Khan's Shadow, rather. Either one is fine. Or they both sell resources for over the normal price, but not extortionately over the normal price. Not 10 echoes apiece. I think it's just 5 echoes apiece more. Which is manageable. So we'll make our way over there and see what's what. I'm surprised we haven't had more things to fight on this whole journey, though. There have been a couple, like that Tyrant Moth and the Bahama Stash we just killed. But still, I'm surprised there's not more things out to kill us now that we're actually looking for things to fight. Of course, I probably shouldn't stick around to fight things when we have so little fuel remaining. And that just smacks of very, very bad decision-making. Alright, we'll make our way back to Wanderer's Haven, where we should be able to pick up more supplies, and then we'll keep going back up towards the north. Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, we have a straightforward chance of success of fleeing our nightmare here. The eyes are watching us, and we run. Ah, good. Our nightmare strength is now 0. We've lost another restful night, we've gained 1 terror, but it looks like our nightmares have faded. So that's good. Nightmares end. A weight is lifted. Our dreams have passed. That's good, isn't it? We've lost 1 terror, and we've lost our recurring nightmares. But I bet you we're gonna get more after this trip, because, yeah, we are kinda getting spooked here. Alright, so we'll stop in at Khan's Shadow, and while we're here, we'll compile a port report, and we'll quickly head into the shops where we can grab ourselves some fuel and supplies. It's a little bit more expensive than we might have wanted, but it is fuel and supplies, so I guess we shouldn't complain too much. Let's buy some. We should be able to actually make our journey back now. We'll go back all the way up to 14, I guess. It's real expensive to buy supplies on the road like this, especially if we wind up having to throw some of them away. But I think it's better for us to try this than to not try it. Figurehead of the Eater of Names. Alright, let's boogie. We could sell them our souls here for 0 echoes, but I think we'll pass on that, thanks. Alrighty, so we have something now. We have the ability to make our way back north, as long as we don't go too insane along the way. Uh-oh. I really don't want to fight a Khanate War Trimoran. Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights and run. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, he got us for 13 damage. Alright, keep running there, lads. Keep running. I really don't want to anger the Khanate right now, otherwise we'd fight them. But since they're the Khanate, and if we attack their ships, they have a tendency to be suspicious of us and not let us into their port, I'd rather not do that. Alright, Restless Nights. We're going to ignore the dreams, which will reduce our terror very slightly. In Port Cavendish, we might have the ability to do some nice things here, but it doesn't look like we can. No. Well, let's compile our port report of Port Cavendish and the Isle of Cats. And, we could visit the Honeyed Tongue or the Cavendish Abbey while we're here. That might not be a bad idea. Let's see what's going on. So, let's visit the Honeyed Tongue. It is both brothel and honey den, run by someone the caddies refer to as the King's Claw. We have a meeting with the King's Claw. We don't have enough notice from the Pirate King, though. We can ask what red honey is. We can comfort a Z captain. And we can swap tails with a honey smuggler. Let's swap tails with a honey smuggler. Oh, it's 5 Z stories, though. Wow. No. No, I don't like that. Let's trade them our fragments, because I don't really care much about those right now. Done. We'll comfort a Z captain, weeping gently into her courtesan's bosom, murmuring of her lost crew in rose gardens. They're all tending the gardens now, she wails, and begins to weep again. My poor crew. We wait for a hitch in the sobs and inquire further. It's a slow, delicate business drawing answers out of her, but we are nothing if not perseverant. It seems her crew was conscripted by the Lady of the Gardens, and that their duties are something far worse than horticulture. We leave her reciting the names of her lost sailors and commending them to Salt's mercy. Well, we have the attention of the Pirate King now. We can get someone's offer of patronage. I'm not sure who we want, though. We can go to the Honeyed Tongue and get patronage there, or we can go to Cavendish Abbey and get patronage here. Who do we want to side with? The Mellifluous Sisters? I think we will. I think we'll take an offer from the Mellifluous Sisters, because these are the people who tend to the bees, and I think they're the more important of the factions here on the island. So we're going to side with them here. Her name, she says, is Zyra. We should use it. We have not met, have we? No, this is definitely the first time. But, The Lady of the Cages shakes her head sharply. Best to proceed as if it is the first, don't you think? A veil of gold mesh obscures only her eyes, leaving her glistening, bitten lips bare. Perhaps 100 small silver keys jangle in a bunch at her left hip. I think we should be friends. I'm very important, you know. Or, I was. No, still am. She pauses. Yes, I'm quite sure I still am. Okay, well, she's one of our options. Or we could instead talk to the King's Claw. The King's Claw tells us to call them Isery. They are dressed in azure silk and wearing clawed rings of enameled metal and ivory on the fingers of their right hand. They are very beautiful, if you like them sharp and glittering and ambiguously gendered. You have caught the interest of the Pirate King, and therefore my interest as well, they say, fixing you with an amber-eyed gaze. You seem capable enough, and I have need of a capable friend. Interesting. Well, we have two choices to make here. Or one choice, I guess. Two options. We can join with Isery or join with the sisters. I think I'm going to join with the sisters still, though. I have a feeling they're the people we'll be siding with this time. So we'll do it. We'll accept her offer. You should come back last Tuesday for another little chat. She pauses and huffs. No, that's not quite it. Come back soon? Another time? Pick a good one. There aren't enough of those. That was probably a dismissal. Well, we have her patronage now. If we come back... Ooh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. When we enter, the Lady of the Cages is sitting on the windowsill, staring out at her gardens. On the desk is an open casket. Within are 10 gleaming vials of red honey, carefully packed. Freshly harvested by the Mellifluous Sisters. Touch them. Go on. They're still warm from the honey spinner. Zyra turns towards us. They're for the merchant venturer over in London. You'll take them for me, won't you, unless you already have? No, clearly not, no. Well, we think it would be interesting for us to be able to do this, but because we're already planning on taking a shipment of stone back, it doesn't make sense right now. As much as I'd like to help her out after we just accepted her patronage, I think it's not wise right now. So we'll come back here and investigate that later. Do a bit of smuggling, maybe. Whether or not that's wise remains to be seen, but it is still an option that is available to us, so I guess we'll find out as we go. Let's sail on. Hello there, what are you? You're just like a Alsace-class corvette. There you go, from Stamford's Expanse. Well, this isn't going to go well for you there, chum. As long as I don't back into the island, I should be fine. Oh, you hit me. You did 4 damage, you jerk. That's rude. Now you're dead. Alright, what do we loot from this guy? We scuttle the Alsace-class vessel, and we acquire a cache of curiosities, which contains... something that smells heavenly. 3 zoop. Well, there you go. Glorious zoop. The only fine thing to ever come from Mount Palmerston. Do devils make it, or dream it? Well, now we have 4 of them, so we can do stuff with them. We can give one to our bandaged poissonnier, and still have 3 to mess around with. Alright. It's a long way north, back up to Mount Palmerston, but we're going to try and get up there today and finish off this little chain of events, but we'll see what gets in our way. It's definitely not going to be very efficient resources-wise, this journey, but we've gotten a few extra things done along the way, so I guess I shouldn't complain too much. For now, we'll sail back into the Principles of Coral. Maybe see if we can find an eel or a bound shark or something for us to fight, and then we'll keep going. So far, though, I'd say this was an overall success. We've acquired more information for our bandaged poissonnier. Oh, what's this? Tears. Our cheeks are wet. We think for a moment that it's Z-spray, but then the sorrow hits us like a falling stalactite. We are weeping. You double over, inconsolable. Let's control ourselves. Stifle our sobs. What is this? Why this sorrow? Interesting. Salt's attention has gone. We dig our nails into the palms of our hands, pacing the deck. The sorrow retreats like mist to the borders of our thoughts. We master ourselves, but the taste of salt remains. We're no longer interesting to the god of the salt, it seems. Well, we're not going to stop in again at Port Cecil, because we've already stopped in here once. Hello there, Albino Moray. You're exactly what I was looking for. Let's just boop you with some cannons, and hopefully you won't mind too much. There you go. Make sure we don't crash into the island as we reverse here, and one more shot should do it. That's a dead Moray. Alright. It's so nice being able to just murder the enemies that we find now. We can butcher it for supplies and occasionally other oddities, or dissect it for knowledge. Or, if we know something about tomb colonists, we can open a monstrous eel. Let's butcher it for supplies and other oddities, I think, this time. We have a hunting trophy, a Stygian ivory, and an unprepossessing mass, which has a curious sack. We slice it open, and inside we have a supply. Z-eggs.
Call them Z-eggs,
Bosun suggests.
We don't want to tell the crew what they actually are. We're safe to eat, but, you know.
Alright, something horrible inside, but it's a supply, and it'll help us survive our trip at Z a little bit longer. We are going to probably need to jettison some of our supplies, though. We'll see how well it goes once we get up there, but we may run into problems once we try and pick up our load of 20 stone if we have too many other supplies. We'll find out, though, I suppose. We still have a number of places to stop in, too. Okay, I think we're going to come up the left side here and then swing around to Mount Palmerston. Reason being, we've already stopped in at Godfall, and at... actually, you know what we can do? If we have another hunting trophy, so if we go to Godfall now, we can trade that hunting trophy in and get one of each of the tails, which is definitely more valuable to us, because it also doesn't take up our inventory space. Turn our lights back on, though, so we're not panicking quite so hard. But yeah, that'll be a much better deal for us. At Achehaven. Yes, indeed. Because that'll clear out the inventory space, and it'll also get us what we need. So here we go. We'll dock in Godfall and speak of blood. Should acquire us a good amount of resources. Yep, 10 fragments, a Z-story, a tale of terror, and a memory of distant shores. Not that we're lacking in them, but still. Still. Okay. Let's keep moving. The new stories await. And until we get to those locations, it's impossible for us to know the possibilities that await us. I'm tempted to go to Wither on the way back, too, but I have a feeling that if we're going to go to the Salt Lions, we're going to be very limited on resources, so we'll want to go Venderbite and then straight to London. We can go to Wither on some other time to pick up our meter salt. But I really do want to advance that Bandaged Poissonnier story, so we might make a slightly less tactical route and waste more resources yet again. We'll see, though. We'll see. It all comes down to how it works out at the time. We'll see as well if we get anything else to fight around here. Generally, there's not a whole lot around Mount Palmerston as far as I know, but we might find a ship of some kind. Or it might be dead quiet and we can simply sail up nice and easy. We'll find out. For now, it seems as though there's not a whole lot here today. We can just sail straight into Port Palmerston and not worry too much about it. And so it goes. Alright everyone, thank you very much for watching, but this is where we're going to end this episode for today. If you enjoyed it, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Thank you again very much for watching, and look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, bye-bye.